What's up, guys? I just saw Locked, and this movie starring Bill Skarsgård, Anthony Hopkins, and I wasn't gonna watch this movie, and I'm gonna be honest because that poster they got out for this movie, that's a terrible poster. It gives off like straight to Tubi dog shit movie of the week. It gives off generic vibes, and I feel like now that I'm like from like the first 20 seconds, I realized that poster was such a grand misrepresentation, blah, you know what I'm trying to say, misrepresentation of what this movie's going to be, you know? This movie it's very beautifully shot. Like, it's not, like, some of the shots in here, some of the stuff that they do with the cameras, that they're just going from scene to scene to scene, and the transitions is really great. You really get a vibe that they're in like a real bad part of town, and Anthony Hopkins plays the like deranged part really well. Like you understand, like, and I really like how, like, as the story goes on, you start to be like, you're kind of on Anthony Hopkins' side, because it starts off on like a Friday, right? Starts off on Friday. Well, it starts off on Thursday, goes into Friday, because Eddie, the character of Eddie, played by Bill Skarsgård, he has to pick up his daughter every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this movie basically spans, I'm going ahead, but it spans from Thursday night into Tuesday morning. So he's in that car all weekend and Monday. And at the beginning, I want to say for the first day and a half, you're probably on Anthony Hopkins' character's side. You're probably on William's side. But once you get into fucking Sunday, you're like, okay, this guy's still in his car. And Sunday was the day that I think he started to really go off the rails and drive around and run people over. And I know a movie like this probably isn't the best in the landscape we're in. Like, the box office isn't doing that well. And you'll see people talk about, okay, one reason, it's too expensive to see movies. A big reason why I saw this movie is because I have Regal Unlimited. You pay $26, you can see any movie you want for free. This movie cost me nothing. Plus the points I get for going to see movies. My popcorn and soda cost me $2. It cost me nothing. Okay, then they say, oh, well, we want to escape. And this movie is very much, like, it's very much in your face about, like, this is about there's crime and the police don't do anything, and the poor people steal. And then Anthony Hopkins is very on the side of, why should you get a handout? Why should I work hard just for you to come take what you know? And you might understand, like, he says, oh, his car's been robbed 6 times, and Eddie's the 7th time, and the cops have never shown up. And then you kind of at the beginning are very much on the side, but we've seen Eddie struggle. We've seen Eddie, he's just trying to make some cash so he can get his van back. But we don't know his full story. But we don't know his full story. We're just seeing what he's done, and we don't really, you know. But as the movie goes on and on and on, you really start to become on Eddie's side. You really start to become on that, how Eddie's living his life might be wrong, and Anthony Hopkins' character William might have some good points, but the way he's going around it is extremely wrong, and you start to realize he's just a psychopath, you know? And while he might be coming from a point of pain and a point of anger, and his grief might be overtaking him, he's still not going about it in the right, healthy way, you know? So, while this movie might not be a big escape for most people, I do think that this movie did have very much interesting things to say, and I do think that just because of the current state of our world doesn't mean you should go out of your way to avoid a movie like this, you know? You might take something from it, and it still is a pretty damn good thriller and survival movie once you take the political elements out of it. Bill Skarsgård is a great actor. Anthony Hopkins is a great actor, one of the greats to ever do it. Bill Skarsgård's got like this like little fuckboy type role. Like, for him, this is like where he's just playing a prick, and like this is, you know, that's kind of like his. I don't want to say it's his lane, but he plays it better than his brother would play it, you know. So yeah, I'll give Locked a 6.5. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. The third act and like the overall, once we were coming to the climax and the ending, I feel like that could have been done a lot. Because I still have a lot of questions, like, what happens to the old man? Did Eddie just say fuck off, and he's not going to report that, and this, that, and the third, you know? And then, like, the overall, like, way they got to the crash scene, like, some of the driving scenes just didn't look, like, I don't want to say they were CGI, but it looked damn sure like they were CGI. And I know it's probably very expensive to do like what they were trying to do with that car and make it safe for everyone involved in the film in the city. I don't think that, like, you know, I'm sure it would have cost them a lot of money to do it like that, you know? So I give Locked 6.5 out of 10. I do think this movie is worth seeing, if not in theaters, on streaming. If you get a chance to watch this movie, I would recommend it you watch it if you don't have any other options, you know? So Locked 6.5 out of 10. Peace.